The L. Douglas Wilder School honors excellence in Virginia government, sponsored by Dominion Energy.
We're here in the Virginia Commonwealth University L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs, where future public servants are being prepared for success through 3 undergraduate programs. The school also offers a range of graduate and certificate programs designed to propel public and nonprofit professionals to enhance their expertise and career success. Ranked by U.S. News & World Report in the top 15% of public affairs programs nationwide, and 6th in the country for Homeland Security. The Wilder School is recognized for its long-standing impact across the Commonwealth, the nation, and beyond. I had the opportunity to sit down with the school's dean, Dr. Susan Gooden, to learn more.
The L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs is the top-ranked public affairs program here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and we're ranked in the top 15% nationally. We have a heavy emphasis on experiential learning. So, for example, every year we have capital semester students who go down and they shadow members of our General Assembly, and they get wonderful applied experience alongside of their coursework. So we have lots of interesting courses, whether we're talking Homeland Security or criminal justice or public affairs or urban and regional planning, all to make sure that they are prepared to go out and improve our society.
Of course, this school is named after Governor Doug Wilder, and his namesake. It's so important to our community. How is his legacy connected to the EVGAs?
So I think it starts with the first word, excellence, and excellence in Virginia government. And that is what Governor Wilder represents. And that's what we represent at the Wilder School. When we think about Governor Wilder, 94 years old, former governor, former mayor, Bronze Star hero in the Korean War, I mean, his legacy of service just permeates our entire community and our nation. And so the Excellence in Virginia Government Awards is an opportunity to recognize extraordinary individuals who have made outstanding contributions to their community.
The school's namesake, Governor L. Douglas Wilder, is actively involved and remains an inspiration today. With his historic inauguration, he became the first elected African-American governor in the nation. As a distinguished faculty member in the school that bears his name, the governor's days are filled with lecturing, writing, and media appearances. We're honored to share his perspectives on the importance of public service. Governor, you of course have more than 70 years of leadership and public service.
You don't have to tell me that.
Why is public service so important?
I think it's important to the extent of understanding what government is really about. And we like to say to nations around the world, as well as to our own citizenry, the importance of government. We say that to students and we impress it upon them, but it's necessary for us to show it in action. Government is not something you put on a shelf and in a book and study at exam time. It's an everyday experience. It's what makes the clock tick, what makes the nation run, and what makes states and localities run.
Governor Wilder's more than 70 years of leadership and public service is the foundational inspiration for the Excellence in Virginia Government Awards. This signature program recognizes outstanding achievements by public service individuals and organizations, as well as nonprofit and private sector partners. The first 2 Excellence in Virginia Government Award honorees exhibit this outstanding service through their work to showcase our Commonwealth. One is focused on the future, while the other ensures we don't forget the past. The Grace E. Harris Leadership Award is named for VCU's former provost and trailblazer, Dr. Grace Harris. The 2025 recipient is Eva Teague Hardy. The former senior vice president for Dominion Energy has supported the administrations of 5 Virginia governors. She served as Secretary of Health and Human Services under Governor Baliles and traveled with President Clinton to the signing of the Israel-Jordan Peace Treaty. The Unsung Hero Award is presented to Mark Greenow, supervisor of the Capitol Guides at the Virginia Capitol. For more than 2 decades, he has revealed the remarkable history and stories that have unfolded within Mr. Jefferson's Capitol since 1785. His captivating tours are referred to as a must-see experience.
Did Jefferson have a Zoom or Skype or instant messaging? I first became aware of the Capitol as a compelling place to visit as a customer. In a previous century, I was a step-on Richmond City tour guide, and I would bring groups of people from all over the place to get a better understanding of the city of Richmond. And I thought to myself, this is such a compelling place. It has compelling stories, it has compelling architecture, compelling contents, compelling people. Gosh, someday it'd be really great to work here somehow. And then that opportunity arose. The Virginia State Capitol is a multitasking building. It can pull off more than one role successfully, often simultaneously. So the obvious and primary role of our Capitol is to be a time-tested workplace for the oldest legislature in North America chosen by popular vote, our Virginia General Assembly. But in addition to that, over the years, it has evolved into a credible fine arts museum with an interesting arrangement of nearly 100 paintings and more than 20-something statues. And in addition to that, it serves as a civics classroom for thousands of students coming to us in organized groups. This is the core of so much of what Virginia stands for and has created as a model for other states to follow. It is a time-tested workplace for the longest experiment in representative self-government in our nation. And the story continues.
I grew up in Egypt, and my family immigrated here when I was 13 years old. I saw a lot of turmoil in Egypt, governments changing by force. So I've always wanted to be in public service, in government, to make a difference. I'm most proud of my work in state government as Secretary of Health and Human Resources, working with children's issues. We were also one of the first states to work with AIDS at the time I was secretary. We were able to do a lot of things in Virginia that were firsts around the country. I think that knowing Governor Wilder since the late 70s has been a very important part of my life. And I learned from him that, as he always says, when something isn't right, you have to speak out and try to make it right. I'm very grateful for the award, and I'm grateful to have known Grace Harris over the years when I was on the board of VCU, and she was the provost. That's why the award from her in her name is so meaningful. Accepted on the basis of, maybe helping future leaders. I've always tried to make sure that they know that my advice is heartfelt. It's honest. It's not what they want to hear sometimes, but it's also important for them to know why I advise the way I do on a particular issue.
In addition to recognizing outstanding organizations and individuals, the EVGAs also award scholarships to 2 VCU Wilder School students. I'm standing with this year's recipients. Why, first of all, did you choose the Wilder School?
Apart from the academic rigor, it focuses on public policy administration, which is also my aligned with my research interests and also my focus. We have faculty who are experts in the area of my interest. And apart from that, we have ethics and leadership legacy here. We can talk of Governor Wilder, who is a trailblazer. We can talk of Dean Gooding, who is also in the equity. We can't talk about equity without talking about Dean Gooding. So these are the contributing factors. And also the location. Richmond is the heart of Virginia, where all the policies are being made.
I chose the Wilder School as an undergraduate just because of the diversity of the staff as well as the students and just the opportunities that I saw when I was researching undergraduate schools. I mean, I've already been able to attend multiple FBI collegiate academies here. I've had the chance to literally get on a bus and go watch federal court happen for class. So just the community that I've been able to find here, as well as opportunities academically and to grow as a person, have been incredible through the Wilder School.
The L. Douglas Wilder School honors excellence in Virginia government, sponsored by Dominion Energy.
CBS 6 reports news, but it's not news tailored for one person or group. It's for dog lovers, mail carriers, new families, large families, those who help others, those who help themselves. It's for him, her, them, you, and me. CBS 6 News is for all. Your voice, your community.
My name is Lieutenant Johnson with the Richmond Sheriff's Office. I've been here for 12 years. I love what I do because it's not just working here within the facility, but we also work in the community. It feels rewarding knowing that I can make a difference and I can succeed. The Richmond Sheriff's Office has great benefits, including health, vision, dental, life insurance, Virginia retirement with Leo supplement, paid vacations and holidays, and tuition reimbursement. Come and join our family at the Richmond City Sheriff's Office.
One team, one vision, one goal.
We are viewing the VCU campus from what's called the Compass. It's a gathering place for students where they can socialize or access academic buildings, the James Cabell Library, and the dining hall. While students at VCU are working towards their career goals, there are other youths and young adults who benefit from extra educational support. Our 2025 Innovation in Government Award honoree, Robert David Sr., created the award-winning program Project Imagine, which is turning youth away from gangs and violence while helping to obliterate the crime rate in Danville, Virginia. Meanwhile, in Alexandria, Virginia, the Community Enhancement Award honoree, the Campagna Center, has provided educational and social support programs for children and families for 80 years. Under the direction of Dr. Tammy Mann, the center now serves more than 2,000 youth and adults daily.
When I thought about having an opportunity to come here and serve at the Campagna Center, to be honest, one of the things that attracted me is just the strength and the power of what it feels like to be in this community. You know, people are out there, they're working hard, they're trying to take care of their families, and we know that when children are in environments that feel safe and parents are not having to worry about are their children going to be having experiences that are contributing in positive ways? It brings a measure of peace. You know, they're able to go about focusing on doing the things they need to do because they know their children have the supports they need. And then when it comes to families, you know, we definitely do work to make sure that under-resourced families, and by under-resourced, I mean families that might be living on the margins economically speaking, they have an opportunity to tap into staff who are very familiar with many of the supports that live in our community. You know, 85% of a child's, brain development happens in the earliest years of their life. So when we provide them with enriching education opportunities at the front end, we know that we're establishing a foundation that's going to help them be successful. Our work with multilingual adults is truly important. You know, as a community, we're here to serve the community, and we serve the community as the community shows up. And so the idea that we would be committed to making certain that people from a variety of backgrounds have an opportunity to take advantage of the things that we have to offer here, it's what the work is all about.
Project Imagine is transformational because it takes someone from nothing and it brings them to something. And when I say nothing, I don't mean that they don't have value. I mean how they value themselves. Project Imagine is the duplication in a positive way of an ecosystem that the street has created for young people. A gang gives a young man a voice who has been silenced by society. So we created that in Project Imagine, but on a positive level. It is a 5-day training session. This is initially when the youth comes in, they get 15 hours of training. And we did that specifically, again, we're talking about creating this ecosystem. In our ecosystem, self-efficacy and believing in yourself and positivity and strength-based is the currency of what we believe in. We have virtual training, virtual exploration, meaning that we give every youth that come through the cohort, this is something we started in the last couple of months, we give every youth who comes through the cohort an opportunity to explore a job virtually. At the end of that, those 5 days, we have a graduation, and the graduation is part of the process. Some of these young people have never been successful in anything that their parent could attend. Now we give them something, we give them a certificate, we have them come up and talk about their goals when their parents are here. After that, we assign them with an outreach worker who will essentially be whatever they need them to be, a life coach. We've tagged the phrase the new aunts and uncles because we feel like in this ecosystem we created that we also created this extended family. As an athlete, I remember as a young man, I was a natural bodybuilder. I've received a lot of awards. I've been in some magazines, on TV, but nothing can compare to receiving this, because that's something I did with my body. This is something I did with my heart.
The Wilder School works hand in hand with policymakers, state and local governments, and nonprofits to provide student opportunities, faculty expertise, research, and public opinion polls to assist their work. Dean Gooden explains.
Well, one of our signature items is our Commonwealth poll. So as you know, we have a gubernatorial election coming up in November, and we do the Commonwealth poll, which polls Virginians, likely voters, Democrats, Republicans, Independents across the entire state, and we ask them about pressing issues of the day, and we report that out. Now that information is great for our faculty members who do research in the area. It's also regularly consulted by policymakers, and so you get a sense of what are people's priorities, what are their ranked priorities, and how might they vary between urban and rural areas, for example.
The L. Douglas Wilder School honors excellence in Virginia government, sponsored by Dominion Energy.
Beat the tariffs at Loyalty. We have hundreds of new vehicles not affected by tariffs, so you can buy now and drive off in a new Toyota, Nissan, or Volkswagen, tariff-free. Plus hundreds of used cars and trucks, no tariffs. Financing as low as 0%, plus lifetime loyalties. You'll never pay for an oil change or state inspection, and your engine and powertrain are guaranteed for life. These cars won't last, so shop today. The Beat the Tariff sale, on now at all Loyalty dealerships.
Welcome to the most honest commercial you've ever seen. Not the cleanest, just the most honest.
Today, we're fixing a home's foundation.
I mean, that is like the most common thing to see in the world.
Pretty common, yeah.
Right.
So it's the soil that's eroding away, causing those cavities, those voids that the foundation then wants to settle into.
And then you guys with your superhero capes show up and fix everything.
Yes, sir.
Get a free and honest inspection with JES Foundation Repair, a Groundworks company.
Honoring an organization or individual who displays a sustained commitment to securing equal rights and justice for all people, the Hill Robinson Expansion of Freedom Award is named for two equal rights pioneers, attorney Oliver Hill and Judge Spotswood Robinson. For more than 50 years, Reverend Tyler C. Milner has worked to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his vision of a beloved community. He developed Richmond, Virginia's commemoration to celebrate the King holiday through inspiration and service to others. His program has since become the national model for the annual commemoration.
The Martin Luther King program developed, in stages. We started with the breakfast and we added this and we added that. And so when we added the mass meeting, we wanted it to be a reflection like it was in the day and during the movement. I saw myself offering to be an instrument to secure, make possible many of the rights and possibilities. And so I realized that I need to offer myself and be available to do whatever I can. And so that's what I've tried to do. The mass meeting was in the tradition as Dr. King would do, come out and let the folk know what was happening, but at the same time, he would be inspirational to them. So we tried to capture and do the same thing. Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm was our first speaker for the mass meeting. So she inaugurated the mass meeting. It was in the gym, chairs and all was put out, and we had some 1,200 plus folk, and it was one of the coldest days in the Commonwealth. And yet the folk came out to hear and to receive the Congresswoman, and so that was a great day. And really, well, after she was there, that just put the mass meeting on the schedule and went from there. When I met Mrs. Coretta King, it was quite an inspiration. She said, "Milner, you remind me of my husband," and I just went away with that. And so I guess the whole thing about Martin was sealed by that, in that sense. And I tried in some small way to reflect the principles, reflect the fight, reflect the whole notion that somebody has to step out and really carry the banner. And so, but I think that sealed it for me. I say in some small way, if I could do that, then I feel like, I've done some good.
The L. Douglas Wilder School honors excellence in Virginia government, sponsored by Dominion Energy.
Getting onto the fairway during the tour may be hard, but with Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes, you can easily turn your backyard into a private country club. Call us today to schedule your free design consultation or visit us online at oakvalleylh.com.
Right now during the Rooms to Go sleep sale. It's the perfect time to change your bedroom with an upholstered bed starting at $395. Save big and add an exciting pop of color and texture with a complete queen upholstered bed from Rooms to Go. Choose from beautiful styles in a variety of great fashion colors, fabric, and leather. So let's go. Get your upholstered bed starting at $395 and save big at the Rooms to Go sleep sale.
At Paramount Builders, we know the importance of protecting your home. That's why we carry the best products from roofing systems to windows and weather sill siding, all built to withstand Category 5 conditions. And we back everything we sell with our unlimited lifetime warranty. Right now, we're making it easier to get what you need by giving you 20% off your entire purchase. No down payment, no monthly payment, and no interest for 12 months. Thank you for choosing Paramount Builders, your hometown remodeler for over 33 years.
Our final honoree is one that has been long deserved. The Lifetime Achievement Award celebrates a Virginian whose career represents the highest values of public service and citizenship, and who has made a substantial contribution to the good of the Commonwealth. Our Lifetime Achievement honoree is Dr. William Ferguson Reed, a political trailblazer. Dr. Reed shattered racial barriers by becoming the first African American elected to the Virginia General Assembly since Reconstruction. He went on to win re-election to the House of Delegates twice. Additionally, he co-founded the Richmond Crusade for Voters during the era of massive resistance. Dr. Reed not only paved the way for Governor L. Douglas Wilder's historic election as Virginia's first African American governor, but he has also served as an enduring role model for others with political ambitions.
William Ferguson Reed, a man who sacrificed much, who gave much of his time, of his personal resources, to make it possible for people like me to be elected to the state senate, which I was, to the lieutenant governorship, to the governorship, and then ultimately to be mayor. Those things don't come arithmetically. They come with sacrifices of some people, and Fergie Reed made those sacrifices.
I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. I went to Richmond Public Schools, Virginia Union University. Then I went to Howard University to get a medical degree. As far as education was concerned, there were obstacles there. We had to go to segregated schools. There were no black principals at that time. All of the principals were white. There was a glass ceiling for the teachers and principals. I thought that if the Supreme Court spoke, everybody would obey the law, and that was it. But when I got back to Richmond, the big hassle at that time was whether or not to keep the schools open. We realized that even though you might have the laws on your side, if you don't have the judges and the elected officials willing to follow the law, you haven't won the battle, and the battle is down in the trenches. You have to elect people that are going to represent you and going to obey the law. So it was decided that for us to be most effective, we should separate from the NAACP and operate under a different name. And it came about that we were named the Crusade for Voters. And the main effort would be to register voters and to educate them on politics. We put all the voters on cards, and we had the telephone numbers. We identified all the black voters, and on election day we were able to mobilize them and get them out on election day. And well, I was able to win.
This happening in Virginia, happening in Richmond, Virginia, and Virginia being the capital of the Confederacy. What's going on with these people? So it meant for people like me, for instance, that, hey, wait a minute, there might be a chance for me to run because I see a Senate seat that's going to be opening up soon. He set such a high example, and unfortunately, he has not been given the recognition that I think he should have gotten long ago. The good man, a smart man, and he was a trailblazer.
Well, first of all, freedom is not free, and freedom is not eternal. What you're given one day can be taken away from you the next day. Your one vote does count. You have to be ever vigilant.
Dr. Reed celebrated his 100th birthday in March. He truly is an inspiration for us all. We celebrate all of our 2025 honorees for their selfless contributions to the betterment of our society. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know more about the important work of the VCU L. Douglas Wilder School of Government and Public Affairs and its dedication to honoring excellence in Virginia government.
Thank you for watching the L. Douglas Wilder School Honors Excellence in Virginia Government, sponsored by Dominion Energy.
CBS 6 giving you a voice.